The recent and unexpected heat wave in our area has been stressful for us, just trying to keep up with all the spring things and keep things watered, but has been incredibly exciting for our mason bee friends. So I'd like to do a little update about these friends this season and how they're doing. I've shared in the past about this setup. You can see we've got one container there, another one over there. Incredibly simple structures, really simple. It basically looks like a birdhouse, but instead of having a face for the birds to come and go, it is a pile of tubes. And as I've mentioned before, what we've learned, these are all Japanese knotweed tubes, but it could be any sort of natural tube that roughly fits a pencil to maybe a Sharpie, and is about 6 inches long, or about from there to the back of this. And if those criteria are met and it's in a spot that's on the warm side in the morning and sheltered from really intense rain, so we're under a little shed wing here, mason bees will find them and adore them and start increasing. They started bopping a few days ago, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and then the last 2 or 3, when we've hit this really intensely warm, dry, sunny times, they've really started moving. What happened is last year, the last generation of the mason bees, they were laid in these tubes. There's other videos that explain that in greater detail, and I don't know all the detail behind it. I don't want to invade them and open them up and inspect. I just understand that they lay eggs and then some propolis and some nectar, and then they put some mud, and then they lay another egg. They just basically fill these tubes with the next generation, and they work really hard. They mate with each other. They have a really seemingly exciting moment, and then at some point in the summer they pass away and these containers will go quiet again. But this time of year they are extremely active. If you live vaguely in our region of northern United States, we're in New York State, could be a very great opportunity to look for Japanese knotweed or any sort of hollow tube. Is it teasel? Are they burdock? Are they old elderberry stems? There's so many opportunities to find things that are not that different from this and make a box that is as elegant as this or even fancier if you want. I think the sheet metal roof or a little bit of something extra on top to keep them really dry is worthwhile. And then this is a 1/2-inch hardware cloth that goes over the front, which is important to offer because it keeps it from being that birds can pull the tubes out. The tubes will fall out once in a while. We just push them in or we let them fall out. But that is the extent of it. We've done no renovation or management other than what you see right now. That's the most management I've done in the last 4 years, is pushing those tubes in, and they're really content. In a way, it would seem really wild to put 2 beehives right next to a main working area. That's where I stand pretty much all day assembling orders for shipping. This is where Juan normally is. We have volunteers coming and going. We have customers coming and going. So it would be sketchy if they were here and dangerous. But in all the years of being around them, they've never once threatened to sting. They'll land on us periodically. We just pick them back up or we let them go and move them around, and they're just super mellow. They're really lovely beings to be around, and I actually prefer having them right next to us. The energy they give off and the feeling of being around all this beautiful work is pretty lovely and pretty inspiring for the work that we're doing. We're a few days out from the flowering to begin in a real way around here, but for the moment they're starting to browse on some of the willows over there. Some daffodils are open and crocuses are open. This big old apple tree will bloom in not too long a time, and that'll probably be one of their favorite things to work on. But those 2 little hives will take care of the pollination needs easily of this whole landscape, this whole 1/4 acre, 1/2 acre, probably up to 1 acre, I would guess. And the cost to build the structure was absolutely nothing. The tubes are free and the bees found it themselves. You can make this. You can make this with your kids or with your friends, with your family, and it is incredibly easy. You can find those tubes. They're hollow. They're somewhere out there right now that need to be cleaned up anyway, and mason bees in your area may very well find them and start building their populations. I encourage you strongly to build some mason bee homes and have these sorts of friends living right near where you are. They're completely safe. You'll never get hurt by them. You'll only get pleasure from them. And thanks, Mason bees. You are a joy to be around.